So today I'm going to be showing y'all some really easy fall DIYs. I'm going to be showing y'all how to make a burlap wreath, a felt wreath that looks like a pumpkin, and the really cute garland behind me. So let's get right into the tutorials on how to make these cute fall DIYs. For this wreath, you will need orange and green felt. I found mine at Walmart for 27 cents each, and you will need a lot of it. I recommend getting maybe 20 pieces, maybe more. Scissors, a wire wreath form. I found this one at Walmart for $3, and some ribbon. I found both of these at Walmart. It doesn't matter which ones you pick, whatever you think will look the best. So you are just going to take your felt and cut about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch pieces. I didn't measure, I just picked whichever looked the best. And you are going to continue cutting all the way until you have your whole sheet cut. Once you have all of your pieces cut, you will fold it in half and then cut it so you have 2 pieces of the same length. Once you have all of your felt cut in half, you will take your wire wreath form and you will tie a knot in each level of the wreath form, just like I'm about to show you. It is easier if you tie the knot down more on the wreath form and then push it up, just like I'm doing now. And you are just going to continue this process along the entire wreath. So when you are ready to do the stem, you are going to do the same thing that you did with the orange felt. Fold it in half, just like you did with the orange felt, and cut. I recommend doing the short pieces on levels 2, 3, and 4. Leave the bottom for the orange felt, that way it looks more like a stem. And then you are going to cut more green felt, and don't cut this one in half this time because we're going to use it for the top of the wreath so that it looks like a stem. So just take those longer pieces and only put them at the top layer of the wreath. And I did double knots on this one. So just use however many pieces you see fit for the green part of the stem, and don't forget to leave the bottom layer orange for your stem to look more realistic. So here is mine. I finished it up, and now I'm just going back to the orange felt that I had cut before. Continue tying your knots all the way around your wreath until you are finished. A few pieces of leftover felt, so I just found a few spots that needed more, and here is what your finished product looks like. It looks so good. I also hot glued a ribbon to the top of my wreath so that it looked like the pumpkin had a ribbon wrapped around it, and I like how this turned out, but it is totally optional. So for the burlap wreath, you are going to need 2 spools of burlap. These are both 30 feet long, and you will need both of them. Some acrylic paint, a wire wreath form, ribbon, an initial or decoration that you want to put on your wreath, paintbrushes, a hot glue gun, and scissors. First, you should paint your initial so it has time to dry. And then you are going to start with the burlap. So take your burlap and make a loop like this on each layer of the wire wreath form. I recommend making pretty decent sized loops like this, that way your wreath is more full. So once you have all of your loops, you are just going to push them together like I am doing right here. And then you are going to twist that top layer and then go to the bottom and start the process again with making the loops. I recommend pushing in 3 loops in each wire wreath form section. That way it holds together a lot better. So you will just continue this process all the way around the wreath. So once you have all of your burlap used, you take the excess and just cut it like this. Turn your wreath over. Twist that piece so that it stays in place and wrap it around the top wire portion of your wreath form. And then I hot glued the burlap onto the wreath form, but you do not have to do this. It is optional. And then I decided to paint my initial black because since I am doing a fall wreath and I want to keep this up for Halloween, I thought black would be better. So now you are going to take your ribbon and measure out 4 pieces. This piece is 20 inches. This next piece is 22 inches. This one is 16 inches. And the last one is 6 inches. So you are going to take your 16-inch ribbon and hot glue the edge and then make it into a loop. Set that aside to dry and then take the 20-inch ribbon and do the same thing. When both loops are dry, you're going to push down the 20-inch ribbon, put some hot glue in the middle of it, and then take your 16-inch ribbon and put it on top. Push them together so that it makes a bow shape and put the hot glue in the middle so you can set that bow shape. While that is drying, take your 6-inch piece of ribbon and fold it like this. And you are going to take your 22-inch ribbon and put it behind the bow, and then wrap your 6-inch ribbon around. Once you have everything where you want it, you are going to hot glue the outside 6-inch piece, and you will cut off the excess if you have any. At the bottom of the 22-inch pieces, your bow stem, you can cut just like this to make a cuter end. And I did this on both sides of my bow. And now you are ready to place your ribbon and your initial wherever you see fit. So I decided to put my bow at the top and the initial I kind of played around for a second, but then I decided to put it in the corner. So then you are just going to take your hot glue gun and glue your ribbon wherever you see is the best. And same with your initial, just hot glue wherever you think will stick the best. I did a few paint touch-ups on my M while my glue was drying, and then your wreath is finished. Here is what the completed wreath looks like. I love how it turned out. For this fall garland, you are going to need tissue paper, twine. This one is optional, but I use some lights, scissors, and hot glue gun. So first you are just going to cut your twine to the desired length that you want. Tie loops in both ends of the string, that way you have something to connect it to the wall. And then just cut that excess off. So if you are going to use battery operated lights, this step is what you will do. So just take the little light wire and wrap it around your string. Once you have it wrapped all the way around, just test out the lights to make sure everything is placed how you want it to, and then you can start with the tissue paper. So take your tissue paper and lay it out and get it as flat as you can, and then you are going to fold it onto itself just like this. Smooth it out again. And then you are going to take the two ends like this, and you are going to fold it up onto itself and leave about 2 inches of the top portion. That way you know what not to cut. Smooth it out again. And then you are going to fold it on itself again. Leave that 2-inch portion that is at the bottom right now. Flip that over so that that is at the top when you start cutting. So you can see how the top 2-inch portion is at the top now, and you are just going to cut little strips in your tissue paper to whichever width you desire. Continue cutting all the way across your tissue paper so that it looks like this. And then that last portion you are going to have to cut. So once you open it up like I'm doing right now, you see it that middle piece is not falling down like the rest of them. So you're just going to separate it and then cut it just like you were doing with the folded portion. Now you are going to turn the tissue paper around and cut into 3 sections. You can eyeball this or you can measure it to get the correct length of tissue paper, but I just eyeballed it. And now you are going to turn over and open the tissue paper and roll it. Once you have it rolled, straighten out your tissue pieces, and then you are going to twist that piece that you just folded up. Now make a loop at the top with that twisted piece and continue doing this for all of your ribbon. If you want your tissue paper to be a little bit more secure so that it doesn't unravel, you can take the hot glue gun and just make a dot like this. Sorry about the black paint on my finger, that is not cute. So you're just going to twist the hot glue onto the tissue paper and continue this process for all of the tissue paper. Once you have all of your tissue paper into tassels, you are just going to take that loop and put it through your string. It doesn't matter which pattern you do this in, I just did the pattern that I thought looked best, and you can also use whichever colors that you want for this garland. Just get whatever tissue paper you think is the best. So I'm just going to continue placing the tissue tassels on the string. And I used 2 pieces of tissue paper per color to make my tassels. So now that I have it up on the wall, I'm just going to space it out how I see fit, and it stays however you put it. So you don't have to worry about hot gluing it onto the string or anything. It will stay wherever you put it once it's on the wall. Once your tissue paper looks how you want it, you are finished. And if you have the battery operated lights, you just turn them on, and this is how it will look. that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you recreate one of these DIYs. I would love to see your pictures. So just be sure to tag me on Instagram or Twitter. Give this video a thumbs up if you like DIYs and would love to see more. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you, and I will see y'all in my next video tomorrow. Bye.